And now we have a trio who did not know each other before this project and who have communicated via, I understand, direct messages on Twitter to produce their collaboration. We have Scottish writer Clare Archibald, writer and translator Delaina Haslam, and the artist Toftsø Nyholm, who is not present because she is not in this country. And they produced a kind of piece called Underflow. It's a trilingual text and audiovisual exploration of the linguistic spaces left by the loss of babies. It looks at the tongue that cannot be universally translated.
Thank you. Okay, I'm Clare, so I'm going to do the first bit of the piece. Initially I did this as a recording, which I think is the one that will be on the website.
Yes.
But I wanted to read it because I haven't read it basically, so I wanted to read it with Delaina here. And I realise I'm doing a method reading because I'm going to read about being on the beach and I've got sand on my flip-flops. So yeah, so my piece, and we've been a bit free and easy with the terms of poetry and translation, but mine's is called Traducción de mi mente, and apologies to Spanish speakers in the room. So, Traducción de mi mente. Vacaciones, 2 semanas, un tiempo para relajarse, la pausa. Aspira, expira, aspira, expira. Como se dice? A mouth open for 5 years asked how she would say dead in Spanish, just in case of preguntas. Mind plays with words, tries to ignore the importance of tenses. No tengo las palabras para explicar, no preguntas por favor, pero soy o estoy embarazada. Off the tourist trail, unbeaten tracks of imposible, sonrisos con los ojos, preguntas con los ojos. Mind lets the eyes down with a break in the code of returning. Mind wonders and wonders what they see in thought bubbles of invisible. No tengo las palabras para sonreír con mis ojos. Por favor, no preguntas. Mind hopes for the first time ever that the body will be seen simply as gorda, plays with shapes, creates the body as an egg timer with sands that will not shift. Silt expectations, sift unspoken. Mind, mouth cannot meet the eyes of strangers with words of unexpected. Wonders can they hear the sadness, sin traducción. No más preguntas porque no sé la respuesta. La lengua plays with the mind, rolls off the tongue, lands at their feet and smiles without eyes, asking only for food, unspoken, pregnant pauses. Mind rolls wet in sand, collecting grains of truth. Entiendo. No soy valiente. Tengo miedo. Estoy triste. Estoy desolada. False tenses of knowing grind the mind, ojos cargados de solidaridad, eyeballs of sharing on traque de maternidad, eyes on sand, body on burning. Mind slips out of costume, smiles are of no return, no preguntas. Mind looks at the Spanish yew blooming on the beach, beauty of jellyfish without stains of unexpected, ojos con sonrisas falsas, averted eyes. La lengua mouthing inside, mucha suerte mi compañero, lo siento, pero no tengo las palabras. La lengua rolls, folds, tumbling through waters. Red, white of swimsuit drips down over the bump of unbecoming, ripped apart by mind at night. Feet jump waves, undulating a body that smiles only with words of contained. Agua sin gas, gas and air. No tengo las palabras. Coldness of cerveza on burning body, of waiting, of wanting. Pero you cannot drip holiday beer on her body inside, live or die. Mind wishes the body would sink in sober sand at night when it sifts through the minutes left inside. Mind tries all the lenguas but cannot speak enough tongues to change the body shapes of known. You cannot fight, the only flight is home. No tengo las palabras para explicar mis vacaciones antes del nacimiento y la muerte. Mind, body, la lengua, mi hija, 24 semanas, la pausa.
Ask me about my baby. 1. Doorbell. A midwife. It's a bad time. It's the funeral today. I don't know if this woman, it's a different one each time, knows of my circumstances. They've come every few days. They phone me when they discover I'm not in. But I'm not a new mother at home with my baby. I've been out visiting funeral directors and cemeteries. 2. Do you feel you've had enough opportunities to talk about what happened? No, not really. Our friends, they were amazing over the period, but now I don't think they know if we want to talk about it. They perhaps don't want to upset you. No. You seem, if you don't mind me saying, more upset this week. I wondered if that might happen. It's perfectly natural and normal, really. Last week, I was quite surprised to see you arrive on a bike, to be honest. 3. So there have been 2 miscarriages, is that right? And an extremely premature birth. Okay, so how many children do you have now? None. He died. Oh, that's awful. I thought you said you looked at my history. 4. The woman from Transport for London is sitting across from me. I've given her a cup of tea. I should be working, but I'm answering survey questions about how I get around the city. Do you have any children? No. He died. Ask me more. I want you to ask me more. So just you and your partner live here? Yes. No more questions come.
Lingua pontem, wave and stretcher. Spørgsmålene udligner ikke smerten mellem vinduerne. Tongue written or tongue written.